one of the most fun seminars I think I went to was Jim Wendler was yelling at everybody, you got to have a goal. What's your goal? And he went to every person and asked every person in the audience what their goal was. And if they didn't have a goal, he's like, you better have one. I'm coming back to you. I'm not going to come to each of you, but you need to have a goal. In anything, whether it's whatever you want to do, there's got to be a goal. And it's got to be observable and measurable. Because otherwise, how are you going to know how you reach that goal? How are you going to track your progress? If you're a trainer, if your goal is to have so many clients a week, if it's for your business, how much money do you want to make a week? How many hours do you want to make a week? You can make anything observable and measurable. And I've learned this from powerlifting. It's very easy. It's like, all right, for me, I want to bench 600 pounds by such and such a date. I set that goal, I put it in motion, I do what I'm supposed to, and then I can measure it. You don't always reach it, but at least you can look back and say, okay, this is what I did wrong, this is what I did right, and it's a learning experience. What does it take to get to your goal is very important also. You have to really think about the investment. And I'm not just talking about the monetary investment, I'm talking about the time, the desire. Do you have what it takes to reach the goal you set for yourself? Is it something you really think you can attain? If you don't think you can attain it, you might have set your goal a little too high. There's always guys who will be training or they'll be at a contest and they're like, I want to take 600 pounds. Like, do you think you get 600 pounds? Oh, I don't know. Well, then I tell them no. Even if they didn't think they were close to it, like, yeah, I think I got it, I could do it. Like, all right, yeah. If you think you can do it, you have a much better possibility. So look at your goals, make them measurable, make them tangible, and reassess. But give it time also. You're not going to reach your goals, set short-term and long-term goals for yourself. Okay? I'm going to give you a little bio of myself. My nickname when I was a kid, it was Skinny Vinny. I was rail thin, and it was real funny. I don't know, for boys, I had my balloon year, I think it was like 7th grade, where I didn't grow any taller, but I grew a lot wider. And so, people get teased, and I was like, I didn't like it at all. So that summer, all I did was exercise. I jumped rope. I didn't know what I was doing. I just did stuff. Push-ups, jumping jacks, calisthenics, whatever I knew how to do. I mean, I didn't have information as easily available at that age. There wasn't the internet, so it's hard to believe a year where that didn't exist. But I just did whatever I could. And I got in great shape over that summer. I learned the value of hard work very quickly from that day on. If you're not getting where you want to be, you're most likely not working hard enough. It's up to you to reach your goals in anything you do in life. Sometimes luck plays a factor in things, but usually it's all predicated upon what you do and the work that you do and the time that you put in within the parameters of your life. Sometimes certain goals aren't doable because you got a family, you got kids, you got a job. Again, it's the investment you're willing to make and look at that and see if it fits. So anyway, after that time, I played lots of sports and I got out of school and I really didn't have anything much to do and I missed competing and participating. So I just was lifting and someone said, oh, you should start powerlifting. So I'm like, all right, whatever, I'll start powerlifting. Because I just always wanted to be strong. When I was a kid, everybody wanted to be the quarterback. I wanted to be the big fat lineman. I always wanted to be the big guy. And I think, 5'7", 5'8", I was Skinny Vinny and I'm like, but I wanted to be the lineman with his half shirt, with his gut sticking. I'm like, these guys are awesome. They have no shame. So once I started powerlifting, I'm like, good, I found my place in the world. It's a place where you can strive to be big and, have an excuse for it. So, I embarked on that journey and I'm like, so what do I want to do? Well, I was 200 pounds. I wanted to be 300 pounds. I did. And it's funny because, Matt saw, the tail end of where I was getting where I wanted to go. And, but I looked, I'm like, how am I going to get to my goal? Made very little steps to just keep putting on more weight, keep training, keep putting on more weight. I ended up rupturing my back somewhere along the lines. I was training for a national competition. I was a full meat lifter, And so they told me, you'll never lift again. I'm like, all right. I spent a whole summer on Vicodin and Budweiser and realized that was no way I did not want to spend my life that way. You know, feeling sorry for yourself, kind of self-medicating. And so, you know, I'm like, I'm going to prove the doctors wrong. I'm going to compete again. So I started training again, started bench press. I was bench pressing, and I was doing well in the gym compared to other people, but that was always my worst lift. But now it's all I had left. Couldn't squat or deadlift appreciably because I have a couple ruptured discs. So I'm like, well, let me take this to a new level. Let me find some people who really know what they're talking about. Let me go train with them. I was driving 6 hours round trip every weekend to go train because that was a commitment I wanted to make. And I started putting the weight back on. Well, before you know it, over the course of my powerlifting career, I've been a top 10 lifter for well over a decade. I've benched 600 raw in multiple weight classes, benched over 800 in multiple weight classes equipped. And I'm 43 years old and I'm still at the top. And it's because I do the little things. And that's really what I'm here to talk about. The little things add up to the big things. Everything, I'm going to talk about things that get done outside of the gym. A lot of people are going to talk about what happens in the gym. I'm talking about what happens outside of the gym because that's made the difference for me. And I'm going to start off with training philosophy. Because your training philosophy doesn't happen in the gym. Most people don't show up at the gym and just start picking stuff up. You have a plan before you get in there.